Okay,
Ready?
let's
Yep.
go.
It's Princess Leia.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my weekly Facebook interview, live interview with one of our Make It British members. I am Kate Hills, and I'm the founder of Make It British. And today I'm going to be interviewing Gillian Tusting, who... Oh, and I can hear my own sound. Let's start again. Well, at least I know the sound is working. So yes, today I'm going to be interviewing Gillian Tusting, who's from leathergoods manufacturer Tusting. So without any more further ado, and actually I will also say here, if you have joined and you would like to ask Gillian a question, then please do ask it, and I'll type it in the comments, and I'll ask it at the end of the interview. But this is going to be a great interview with Gillian. She's got loads of real gems to tell us about her leather goods business, and it's a very historic company, so we're going to be hearing all about that. So let me hand over to Gillian. Hello,
Hi,
welcome, Gillian. Thank you for joining us today. I love the headphones.
Thanks for inviting me. Yeah. I'm sort of rocking the Princess Leia tech look here. These belong to my daughter. She doesn't know I've got them today. Sorry, she's busy at school doing mock GCSEs, and I'm mucking about on Facebook. So
brilliant, love it. Does she know that's what you do for a living?
No, she's going to know soon, though, isn't she?
Fantastic. Well, do you want to start by telling everyone all about Tusting? It's a family business, isn't it? So tell us how it all came about and a little bit of the history.
It's a family business. Yep. 5 generations of Tusting people have been in this company. It's a leather company first and foremost. The first tannery was set up late 1800s, 1875, I think it was, and that was my husband's great grandfather set up that tannery. And each generation subsequent has worked in the leather business in the tannery right up until the 70s, when many British tanneries went the way of the Far East and so on. So they then carried on trading leather, and then just at the very end of the 80s started looking to make leather goods. So nearly 30 years ago, we started bags.
So 5 generations, that's amazing. So you're a Tusting by marriage, not by birth, aren't you?
I'm an add-on. Yeah, what can I say? I'm an import.
And I actually met your father-in-law the other day at the Worshipful Company of Leather Sellers.
Yeah, which is brilliant. And the lovely thing about the leather sellers, it makes us look like whippersnappers. It's been going since 1400 and something, and but 3 of those 5 generations have been members of the leather sellers as well. And we've actually got sight of the actual record. They've got minutes of when my husband Alistair's grandfather was joined into the leather sellers. So that's part of the family history as well. And it's brilliant that it's incredible charity, the leather sellers, that supports so many people all over the country. And that, it's very glitzy surroundings, but they really do an incredible job.
They do. And then actually I found all the people in the leather industry that were at the dinner amazing and very, very welcoming. And I was told that there is 16 tanneries left in the UK. At what point did Tusting stop becoming a tannery and then decide to diversify and go into leather goods manufacturing?
In the early 80s. Yeah, it was about 82, I think, that the tannery finally closed. But in order to maintain continuity of the service that the family was offering then, the leathers that they were supplying to the shoe trade, they moved some of the technology that was in the tannery out to the Indian tanneries, the partner tanneries that they were working with to get the crust from, and taught them how to do the finishing so that they could still supply the premium shoe factories that were still going with the same product that they were really well known for. So it was quite, although the tannery closed, the product was still available, so it was quite clever.
And are you still working with any of those tanneries in India?
Yeah, we're still supplying leather to Pocket and Jones and to Cheney Shoes, and a few others, obviously. But literally been supplying some of those shoe factories, for several generations, because they're family businesses that have been going for that long as well. So
and then
like that here, the shoe trade.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very friendly trade. And then you set up the handbag business, then you say, in the late 80s, or the leather goods, so luggage and leather goods for men and women. You set your workshop up then when everyone else was shutting down. Tell me
Yes,
why you did that.
I know.
Everyone must have thought it was crazy.
Buck the trend, why not go for it? You know, it was right. Yes, you're right. Right at the end of the 80s, and there were factories closing down, right, left, and centre. And this was my father-in-law and two of the brothers. My husband wasn't involved in the business then. I think he was still at university actually. 18, no, he was working up north, so they effectively rescued a couple of machinists and a couple of machines from a leather goods factory that was closing down, and by way of diversifying the offering, the leather offering, used the leathers that we had here and that we were trading into the shoe trade to make the first pieces of luggage and handbags.
So it was luggage that you made first of all.
Yeah, the first collection had handbags, briefcases, and luggage and holdalls in it. Yeah, so it was already, you know, there wasn't so many pieces as we have now, but they were across the board. Yeah.
And was that sold direct to the end user, to the customer, or did you make those products for other people?
No, in the first instance, they were Tusting branded right then and there, and they were sold through little outlets around the country. You know, little boutique leather goods suppliers. You know, to suppliers to the customer, end customer. There was very little anyway direct marketing at that point. You know, because that's before websites and any of, you know, that sort of stuff. So and it was too small to do, you know, direct mail type marketing. So it was all wholesale sort of stuff, or people who knew family, I guess, you know, and spread the word.
And how have you seen the business change? So 28 years you've had the leather manufacturing side with your own brand, and how has that changed in the last 28 years? You've gone from 2 people. How many do you have now?
35, or it's expanding. It seems to be every other week there's somebody
brilliant
at the moment. So so at the moment we've been nearly as big as this and gone smaller and then got bigger again. About 36, 37 I think we've got at the moment. Some of them part-time, so you know, at any given moment there aren't 37 people here, but you know, that's the sort of numbers.
Did you say as well that one of the 2 original people that you started out with, your father-in-law started out with the workshop 28 years ago, are now still with you?
Still here, yeah, still here.
He's brilliant.
The factory manager, yeah, cool,
fantastic.
Yeah,
and you don't just make for your own brand now, do you? You make other products as well.
No, we've from very early on in the piece we've done manufacturing for other brands. I mean, how it began, I'm not sure, because it was, you know, quite a long time before I was involved. I suspect it was one of those, you know, leathery convention conversations when someone was looking for somebody to make bags, and you know, it's like, well, you know, maybe I might be able to do that for you, kind of thing. And then actually for a period there was rather more manufacturing for other brands than there was for Tusting, because it doesn't require the whole of the rest of the thing, all the marketing and everything else. So actually, in a way, it's easier to make for other brands because you just do what they ask, and you know, it's in and it's out. But the 2 go together, and we do both of them, you know, in parallel. And now actually find that the success of the Tusting brand helps to bring inquiries for manufacturing. What happens is that we end up getting too busy, and at the moment, certainly, you know, if you come asking for manufacturing, you know, it's going to be a long conversation, because it goes rather a long way out. Yeah.
Because your own brand is doing so well, or because you're so busy?
Both. The own brand is doing well, and also there's a lot of demand from our existing really faithful manufacturing customers, and nice. Now when we take on new customers, we will generally try to do that as a collaboration of some sort.
Yes.
So we've got a number of those coming online as well. So and that's nice, because our brand benefits from the other brand, and the other brand benefits from choosing, you know, a recognized excellent maker in the UK who have our own brand equity, you know, and it's a scratchy thing.
And it's not just fashion, is it? Because some of the big customers you've got are in the, am I allowed to say what other industry they're in, or the brand names?
The biggest one.
Go on, name drop.
well, I mean, we've got a couple of brands that we make for that we've been making for a long, long time. So long before we worried so much about our own brand being subsumed by it, if you like. Aston Martin is one of them that they're very good to us, and we've made for them for many, many years, and we've solved a lot of problems along the way and made it,
Yeah.
you know, one of the reasons that they come to us is because, yeah, we're British, that fits with the Aston Martin brand. We make super leather goods, so that fits with supercars.
Yeah.
They're close by, you know, they're actually
Course,
based quite
yes.
close to us, so
Yeah.
it actually, you know, that we're almost neighbours, certainly to the Newport Pagnell base, which is where it all began for Aston Martin. You know, that's literally 15 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
The Gaydon plant's more like an hour, but you know, they weren't at Gaydon when we started.
And what sort of products do you make for Aston Martin then?
We make the luggage, which if you buy your Aston Martin, which of course we'd all love to do, wouldn't we?
As I do every day. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And when you buy your Aston Martin, Kate, you will be offered some luggage to fit the Aston Martin and to go with the Aston Martin. So it's complimentary luggage, if you like. Okay.
Free. It's a buy one get one free.
Yeah. Yes. I'm not sure it's free, but you know, it's matching, shall we say?
Yeah,
that
brilliant.
Kind of and so that luggage that you buy when you buy your car, that's the stuff that we make for them. And there's standard sets that go with the cars, but there's also a various level of bespoke offering that Aston Martin do for their customers. And the leathers that are used in the upholstery of the cars is what we make bags out of. So they're not our leathers, and they're specific leathers that Aston Martin use that come from the Scottish Tannery group
in Scottish Tanneries. Yeah.
So British leather, British made cars, British made leather goods that go in them.
Amazing.
And if you want various levels of bespoke offering for your luggage for your Aston Martin, then that comes our way as well. So we get involved in all sorts of brilliant projects with them. Yeah.
And you say that they use the Scottish leather for those leather goods. Actually, one of the questions I get asked all the time is, you know, why don't people like Mulberry use leather from the UK? Can you explain a little bit about the different types of leather and why the UK doesn't make so much handbag type leather anymore?
Yeah. Well, it's. I mean, we don't. I know you've got 16 tanneries, which is more cotton than we've got cotton mills or whatever. But even so, it's not very many tanneries, and some of them are quite small. And they're often making leather for shoes as well, which is much meatier than you would want for handbags. Yeah. And some of them are upholstery leather, and Scottish Tanneries is one of those that's making leather specifically for automotive upholstery, right? Which is a specific kind of tannage which delivers a leather which is stretchy and moldable, and you can pull it really tight around your car seat.
I see.
You know, you don't want to be leaving bum prints in your car seat, do you? You know? And so the leather has got to be responsive and stretchy and can be fitted really tight and will stay robust in that situation.
So they add that in the tanning process. Sorry, they add that in the tanning process, do they? The ability to make it stretchy. I see. And so
exactly. And upholstery leather for furniture in your house similarly has to have a level of stretch in it. For bags, you don't want a lot of stretch in it because it makes for a bendy bag that won't keep its nice crisp shape, and you want a symmetrical bag that looks beautiful and is nice on the eye.
Yes.
And you actually want leather that doesn't have a lot of stretch in it for that. So and that's one of the challenges for for the Aston Martin stuff that we make, is that it's made of the automotive leather, which is not the best thing for making bags. So we have to be good at it, basically, to make good bags out of leather which isn't really meant for making bags.
So would you then structure the bag in order to make that leather work for that luggage?
There will often be some reinforcement in the bag, but as much as that, it's just being very careful how you do it and not to allow the leather to stretch as you make the bag, so you don't end up with a twisted situation and that sort of stuff. So really, if you're wanting handbag leather, there's not so many tanneries in the UK that can offer it.
No. So do you think there'll ever be a possibility that Tusting will bring its tanning back to the UK, and that you'll set up a vertical business where you'll not only make the leather goods, but you'll also continue to make start to make the leather again?
Never say never, Kate. Never say never. It's not exactly in the plan at the moment. But things do change all the time, don't they? And there's so much more onshoring going on at the moment, and people understanding that actually you get a better value product, and you can do smaller quantities, you can be much more responsive. The whole thing about fast fashion, that we've all learnt from Zara, that's about being able to see something, do something, and deliver it to market all in short order, which a UK factory can do. We can do that. If we suddenly want to make something, we can have it next week, because it might get in the way of manufacturing, but we can do it. Whereas if you're sourcing from the Far East, or even around Europe, you're talking about much bigger quantities, much longer lead times, and that then leads to inflexibility in the offering that you can make. So it's not the stupidest suggestion at all.
Right.
It's just you need a scale to make it worthwhile. Yeah.
But your priorities at the moment are to grow your brand and expand overseas. Is that correct?
Yes, we already make more. We already send more product overseas than we sell in the UK. So of the Tusting brand, we're exporting more than we're keeping for our UK customers. So UK customers, you can man up there and buy a bit more, and then you might get the balance back to Britain. But at the moment, the Far East particularly, they love British goods, and they particularly love British leather goods.
Yeah, that's so true.
We've been selling in Japan for a long time, and now the Chinese market is sort of starting to follow the enthusiasm that they have for the British leather goods in the way that Japan has had for several decades. So we're seeing super growth in China. Now, our first real standalone store is in China. It's not in the UK, because that's where there's good demand, and also it's not as expensive to do that in China as it is in the sheer price of property and everything in the UK does mean that you have to think quite carefully about just
So where is your Chinese store? Is it in Shanghai?
It's in Tianjin, which is the third largest city in China. Often one not heard of, but it's a port city that works really hard, and it sort of backs up the more glamorous Tianjin and Beijing or Shanghai. But we also have some outlets in the other cities too, and hopefully we'll be opening another store in the course of the next couple of years in one or both Shanghai and Beijing.
So we need to talk about the product then, don't we? And the fact that after this interview, you are going to do a very special giveaway for people. Make it British viewers that are watching this. So I'm going to flip over so we can just see you on the screen, so that you can show me a couple of pieces of the fantastic product that you make, which one lucky person is going to be able to win one of these. They can choose which one they want. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. So, well, no, I thought actually what we'd do, Kate, is we'd get the viewers to choose which one.
Hold on a minute. Hold on, Gillian. We had a sound issue there.
Okay.
I might not be able to flip over to your screen. How's that happened? That didn't work very well.
And I'll keep talking then. So what we were going to suggest was that we did a little vote on your Facebook page as to which should be the prize.
Ah, that's a good idea. Yes.
So we'll give you a choice of two, and the viewers can decide which one they'd like to be the prize in the competition. And of course, although these two bags are handbags, guys, Valentine's Day is coming up, okay? So get with it, and we might be able to. Oh, we're going to run it after about
4 weeks.
Okay. Well, the idea is there, and there are more of these on our website.
I could write in the Valentine's card, I've entered a competition, you might be able to win this bag for Valentine's.
I'm not sure how well that would go down as a love message, though.
No, I don't either. Hang in there, I'm just going to see if I can get this other thing to work. Just hang on.
This is you putting me big,
everyone, while I try and get this. Let me take mine. Right, let's try again, Gillian.
Okay. Any joy?
I don't think so.
Well, I can just bring it, center screen, so that
That's not going to work because you've got the bag in front of you, or both bags, and tell us what they are.
So I'll do one at a time because we haven't got so much screen real estate. Okay. So the choice is going to be for the prize for this competition, the holly. Okay. So if I get myself out of the frame, there's a holly.
That's gorgeous.
Okay, which is very, very lovely. And we also have a Cardington, which is more traditional. Had a little refresh this one.
So maybe people can write in the comments which one they like the best.
Yes,
As
exactly.
Well. Yes.
Yeah. So this is a funnily enough, this style, we've been making this style almost in this kind of shape since the very beginning, since the very first
Really?
28 years ago, and it gets little makeovers from time to time, but it's incredibly popular.
Yeah.
So there's that one, okay, as well, which is sort of cartridge bag style. So you can go for more. Well, I don't know. I'd be really interested to know which one people would like to have as the prize.
Hold up the red one again.
Red one, little sort of Jackie Onassis style.
See, one's more casual.
Almost next to my head, but it's not a big bag at all.
That's lovely.
Yes, so this is more formal, definitely. Both have got shoulder straps. This one comes off, so you have a cute little top-handled bag.
Brilliant. Thank you very much today, Gillian. You've been absolutely brilliant. You've been a really good interviewee.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You make it very easy, Kate. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, just stay on there, Gillian, while I say goodbyes, which hopefully won't have an echo.
Well, good luck with that. Yeah.
Bye.